Shalom, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified. Coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, Freedom to Contract. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All of my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so now, as you all know, I've been doing a series of videos on the summons, right? So now I'm going to further prove that you have a right to contract and you also have the freedom to contract. Okay? So now let's go over freedom of contract definition. We're coming from the Webster's dictionary. Let's stroll up. It says legal definition of freedom of contract: a power or right to contract and freely determine the provisions of contracts without arbitrary or unreasonable legal restrictions, especially as guaranteed under the contract clause of Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution. Called also freedom to contract, liberty of contract. Okay, so now you have an agency who force you into a contract. I tell you all the best way to get out of a contract is to usher in your own contract, okay? That's the best way to get out of the contract. All right? So now we all can see we have the unlimited powers of freedom of contracts. So once you write your contracts up, can no one or nothing come between you and your contract? Okay? So now we're going to go over the elements of a contract, or what must be entered into a contract in order to enforce a contract or in order to establish the contract. So let's go there. Okay, so we're going to pick this up from Law of Contract. Let's stroll up. Introductory note. It states, following the lines laid down by Sir William Anson, I divided the subject of contracts into 5 parts, namely, 1. The nature of contract. 2. Its information. 3. Its operation. 5. Its discharge. 4. Its construction. Okay? Then it states, let's stroll up to formation of contract. Pick this up at the top. Having ascertained the particular features of contract as a juristic conception, the next step is to consider how a contract is made. Okay? So let's stroll up. The analysis of contracts will have shown us that there are 3 elements of conception, namely, A, an agreement. We know what an agreement is. An agreement is an offer. B, an intention of the parties to affect their legal relations. We know what the child support agency intentions are. Their intentions are to make you become an obligor. That's their intentions. And C is an obligation created by that agreement, an intention, which again turns you into the obligor. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over a New York summons to appear, and we're going to see if these 3 main principles are present on that document. Okay, so we need the agreement, which is the first step. An agreement is the first step, right? Which means it's an offer and acceptance. That's the first step. B is an intention of the parties to affect their relations, their legal relations, right? Which means that we know who the parties are, which would be the agency, the child's mom, and who is the custodial parent majority of the time, and the father will be the non-custodial parent, which all their legal relationships with the state. Okay, so let's continue to see. See, an obligation created by that agreement and intention. We know what the obligation is. The obligation is you are paying for the ward of the state. Okay, which is the child or the creation of the state. Okay, but let's further prove that the first step before I move forward to the New York summons to appear for child support. Let's prove that the first step in making a contract is offer and acceptance. So let's go there. Here we go. Introductory. Requisites depending solely upon the will, right? So it's your will. Let's continue. Offer and acceptance. The first two elements of contract, that is, agreement and intentions to affect legal relations. The same two things we just read at the beginning. So again, when they send you a notice, that's an offer to appear. Okay? Offer and acceptance. If you accepted that order and you do not respond back, then you are now in dishonor. But let's continue. It says the first two elements of contracts, that is, agreement and intentions to affect legal relations, are closely allied and may conveniently be considered together under the title of offer and acceptance. Okay? So now, that's the first thing. So we're going to go now to a child support summons that was sent by New York. Let's go there. Okay, so we're going to pick this up at the top where it states Family Court of the State of New York, County of Bronx, right? Here we go. It states in the matter of a support proceeding. Clearly letting you know their intentions when they're sending you this offer to appear. Okay? I crossed out the file number, docket number, CSMS number. Petition name crossed out, respondent name crossed out, right? Then it says summons support. Clearly letting you know again the intentions is to do what? Collect support. Let's read the notice. It says notice. Your failure to appear may result in suspension of your driving privileges, state issued professional, occupational, and business licenses, and recreational and sporting licenses and permits. Further, your failure to appear will result in the entry of an order on default unless service has been made by mail alone, in which event no default may be entered without proof satisfactory to the court that you have received actual notice of the commencement of this proceeding. You are further advised that upon your appearance on the return date of this summons, you must provide proof of your income and assets, and a temporary or permanent order of support will be issued. You have a right to bring a lawyer with you if you choose. Okay? So again, they are basically breaking down the contract that they are creating. Okay? That falls under number C, letter C, which states an obligation created by that agreement or intention, right? So we know what A is. A is an agreement. And I've proved to y'all in the video before that an agreement is an offer and acceptance of the contract. Or two contracts, should I say. But let's pick it up. It says, by order of Family Court of the State of New York, right? Crossed out the name. Then it says, a petition under Article 4 of the Family Court Act having been filed with this court and annexed hereto. You are hereby summoned to appear before this court on, and I got the time, call the date and time out, right? This is his first appearance and everything, but let's continue. To answer the petition and to be dealt with in accordance with the Family Court Act. On your failure to appear as herein directed, a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Okay, so they're still establishing what will take place once you received this offer and acceptance. Okay, so now his whole thing is to do what? Is to answer the petition to be dealt with in accordance with the Family Court Act. But his whole thing is to do what? Answer the petition. He don't have to wait until he get into the court to file an answer to the petition. He can file his answer immediately. Once he get the documents, within 3 days, he should be filing his answer. Okay? To do what? Go back and watch my video that I did. Stay on topic, and also summons number 2 video. Okay? So again, further proof that a summons is an offer to appear. Okay? That's it. That's all. It's an offer and acceptance. It's on you to stay in honor. If you received an offer, then you must respond back to it. Okay? Failure to respond equals agreement. Okay? So they are saying that if you received this, you didn't respond back to it, and if you don't show up, then they're going to do what? Put a bench warrant out for your arrest. Why? Because you didn't dispute it. Okay? You did not enter your answer into the court. You did not file a response. Plain and simple, simple and plain. The whole thing is stand and honor. Everything in America runs on a continuous series of contracts. That's it. That's all. Okay? The best way to get out of a contract is to enforce a new one. That's it. That's all. That's the only way to get out of a contract. Either that or pay what they say you owe or what they claim you owe. Okay? And we're not doing that over here. We're getting out of these contracts, and that's it. That's all. You know? There are ways of getting out of contract. You can get out of any contract. All right? And I got to tell y'all, when someone has a duty to speak and they fail to speak when they have a duty to do so, it equates to fraud. Okay? Prove fraud. That's all you got to do. Once you prove fraud, the whole thing is null and void. Okay? Either they're going to dismiss it because of fraud, or they're going to dismiss it because they're going to say that all parties are in agreement. That's why when you get those driver license letters, they say, oh, well, there's an agreement that you paid or that you came into a contract agreement. No, we did not. We forced them to agree to what we want. And that's how we do it. Okay? So with that being said, you all be blessed. Thanks for watching my videos, for all my subscribers, for all the new people strolling through. You know, hit that subscribe button for we can all get remedy. I'm trying to help as many brothers out as possible. For all those who need help again, hit me up in my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. Serious inquiries only, you know. If you're ready to make that gift, and we'll move forward. Trying to get as much freedom as possible, okay? So with that being said, again, you all be blessed. Shalom.